Well, to join us to explain their decision to suspend VBS is Banking Association's Managing Director, the MD himself, Kes Kuvera. Kes, good morning, and thank you very much for your time. I'm fine. How are you doing?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I saw this statement late yesterday that you've decided now to, as BASA, to suspend the membership of VBS. Why now?
Well, firstly, why now is that we were waiting for the outcome of the Mutau report, the view that the Reserve Bank has taken. It's quite clear that the report has identified serious misconduct amongst the management and some shareholders of the bank. The Reserve Bank has put it under curatorship. The Reserve Bank as late as yesterday before the Standing Committee on Finance indicated that they've handed some stuff over to the prosecuting authorities. So we felt that it is now appropriate for us to actually suspend.
Shouldn't you have waited rather for the outcome of these investigations you're talking about first, before you took that decision to suspend VBS?
Given that the bank is under curatorship, given that a report has been done by a legal person on behalf of the Reserve Bank, given that the Reserve Bank has accepted that report and it's now public, given that some matters have been handed over to the prosecuting authorities, we felt that there is sufficient case out there to show that the bank did conduct itself in an inappropriate way, did not meet the requirements of the Code of Good Practice that we abide by, and we thought that it is therefore necessary to suspend.
Okay, what does it mean to be suspended
Well, what it means, firstly, let me just clarify that the Banking Association is not a regulatory body. It's a voluntary association representing the bank. So what the suspension means that VBS does not have access to any of the work we do. We do not represent VBS in our interactions with government and other stakeholders as far as the positioning of the industry is concerned. And VBS does not, we will not be communicating with VBS in any way whatsoever.
I was just wondering, I mean, one of the things you mentioned in your statement around the VBS, the wording that has come through here is about the stability of the financial system. I agree, and we will all agree as South Africans, that the VBS thing is really cutting down to our, really affecting our moral fiber. But from a financial system stability perspective, is it that big?
Well, no. From a financial stability point of view, it's not that big, but it creates serious reputational issues for the industry. And we need to manage that because this is an industry that actually works on reputation. And so I think that we do need to ensure that we send out the message that I think the Reserve Bank has done that, and the Deputy Governor yesterday in Parliament said that our law allows banks to fail under certain circumstances. And I think what we are saying is that, particularly given all the hype around banking and so on since the financial crisis, what we are saying is that as an industry body, we cannot tolerate a member who has conducted itself in this manner.
Okay, another issue which I know that the Banking Association of South Africa has really been pushing is the transformation of the sector over the years. Surely this doesn't bode well for that. I'm sure you're disappointed about this?
Yes, I think it is a setback for transformation, but I think we need to separate a few issues. The mutual banks model is still an appropriate model. There are a number of mutual banks that operate in the country. The mutual banks model is still an appropriate model for transformation. The bottom line is that there were certain individuals here who took a decision to use the bank to loot. And let's not mince our words about that. So it's not the model that's in question here. It's not transformation that's in question here. This is the act of a few individuals that has set us back to a certain extent. I think that the model is still an appropriate model, and if people want to, in that particular area where the VBS bank has been operating, if people want to apply for a banking license and establish another mutual bank, I think that should be welcome.
And your members, are they going to do all they can to ensure that VBS clients are looked after?
Well, the Reserve Bank has guaranteed up to 100,000 rand. The Reserve Bank is using one of the banks to actually facilitate that. So it's up to the Reserve Bank. This is in the hands of the Reserve Bank, and if the Reserve Bank approach us for any assistance, we would obviously do so.
Okay, Kes, thank you very much. Kes Kuvadia, the MD of the Banking Association of South Africa, explaining the reasons and the impact of their decision yesterday to suspend the membership of VBS Mutual Bank. Mutual banking in South Africa is still doing well, but some individuals didn't behave well, according to him, and hence we are where we find ourselves after that looting at VBS Mutual Bank. Now,